Sydney funnel web spider. Barely the size of a thumb, dark, kind of glossy looking, nothing special until it rears up and shows the fangs. Long enough to actually get through a fingernail. Weird thing about this one, the male's venom is more dangerous than the female's, which is basically backwards from every other spider on this list. He wanders around during mating season and ends up in garages, shoes, pools, backyard undergrowth near Sydney. Before 1981, a bite could kill a healthy adult in under 2 hours. Kids, even faster than that. Then antivenom came out, and there hasn't been a confirmed death since, not one. Nobody's totally sure why the venom hits primates so hard specifically. Dogs and cats barely react to a dose that would put a person in the ICU. Still being studied. Brazilian wandering spider. Doesn't sit in a web waiting. Actively hunts at night across the forest floor in South America. Fast, alert, moving around like a small mammal almost. Needs somewhere dark during the day though. Sometimes a log, sometimes a banana crate that ends up in a supermarket in another country entirely. Which is where the banana spider nickname comes from. Guinness once listed it as the most venomous spider alive, based on toxicity tests on lab mice. In people, a serious bite brings intense pain, sweating, irregular heartbeat, and in men specifically, a prolonged, painful erection. A symptom weird enough that researchers actually started studying the toxin for erectile dysfunction treatment. Deaths are rare now since antivenom exists, and hospitals in the region know the drill. Black widow. Everyone pictures the same thing. Female eating the male right after mating. It happens, sure, but way less often than the legend suggests. Mostly just in captivity where the male can't get away. In the wild, plenty of males survive and mate again. The venom itself is called latrotoxin. Doesn't destroy tissue the way some spider venoms do. Instead, it floods the nervous system and causes rigid, painful muscle contractions. People have described it as a full body cramp that just won't let go for hours. Abdominal pain bad enough, that bites used to get mixed up with appendicitis. Mortality sat around 5% before antivenom existed. Low compared to funnel webs, but high enough that people were right to be scared. Female's the dangerous one. Glossy black, red hourglass marking. Male's smaller, duller, mostly harmless. Brown recluse. Shy, slow, spends most of its life in closets, wood piles, old boxes, wherever's dark and nobody's disturbing it. Bites are basically always accidental. Someone puts on a shoe or glove it's been hiding in. And the bite doesn't even hurt at first, no sharp sting or anything. Then, hours later, sometimes a full day later, the skin around it starts breaking down. An enzyme in the venom destroys cell membranes, causes necrosis, and the wound can take weeks or months to heal. Systemic reactions are uncommon, but happen, especially with kids. Here's the thing though. That violin marking everyone looks for as identification, several harmless spiders have basically the same marking, so doctors have blamed brown recluse bites for what were actually bacterial infections plenty of times. Probably gets blamed for more damage than it actually causes. Six-eyed sand spider. Doesn't chase anything. Doesn't build a web either. Just buries itself in desert sand across southern Africa, flattens out, and waits, sometimes for days until something wanders close enough. Sand grains stick to tiny hairs on its legs, and it basically disappears into the ground. When it does bite, the venom's both hemotoxic and cytotoxic, so it attacks blood vessels and tissue at the same time. Human bites are extremely rare, since this thing almost never runs into people at all, but the few documented cases and animal studies aren't pretty. Internal bleeding, tissue breakdown around the wound. No antivenom exists, mostly because there just aren't enough recorded bites to justify developing one. Redback spider. Close relative of the black widow, and the mating story here is even stranger. The male positions his abdomen right over the female's mouth while they're mating, and she often starts eating him before they're even done. Researchers think this actually helps him father more offspring, since a fed female is less likely to go looking for other males afterward. Venom causes something called latrodectism, similar to the American version. Pain, sweating, nausea, sometimes lasting days without treatment. Deaths happened before antivenom, rarely, and now basically don't happen at all. The real issue with this species isn't venom strength though, it's how close it lives to people, sheds, mailboxes, outdoor furniture, anywhere sheltered near a house. More bites get reported from redbacks in Australia than almost anything else on this list. Not because it's the deadliest, but because it never left the neighborhood.